The rain was a greasy film on the windows of the Blue Dahlia, blurring the neon glow into a sickly haze. I'm Jack Rourke, and I'm paid to find people. Usually, those people don't want to be found. Lila Monroe definitely did want to be found, or at least, that's what her husband, Vincent Monroe, seemed to think. A nervous, fidgeting man with more money than sense. He'd hired me 3 days ago, whispering about a runaway wife and a reputation to protect. She wouldn't just leave Rourke. Not Lila, he said, dabbing sweat from his brow with a silk handkerchief. Something's wrong. Something usually was. The Blue Dahlia reeked of stale perfume and desperation. Annie, the trumpet player, gave me a quick nod, his eyes flat and unhelpful. I leaned against the bar, nursing a rye and watching the dancers, searching for a flicker of recognition, a sign of someone out of place. Ruby, a dancer with eyes that looked like chipped ice, caught my gaze and immediately looked away. She was here last week, I said to the bartender, a man built like a brick wall with a permanent scowl etched on his face. Lila Monroe. He wiped the counter with a rag, pointedly ignoring me. Lots of dames come and go, he mumbled. She was seeing someone. I pressed. He just shrugged. Bruno, a doorman with the build of a heavyweight boxer and the expression of a stone gargoyle, appeared beside me. Looking for something, Mr. Rourke? His voice was a low rumble. Just admiring the talent, I said, meeting his gaze. I knew he was watching me. Everyone was. I'd already spoken to a few of the staff dead-ends. Everyone seemed to know something, but nobody was talking. Lila Monroe, it seemed, was a favorite of the club's owner, Arthur Sterling, a real estate magnate, with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. He was a dangerous man to cross. I found Sterling in a secluded booth at the back of the club, surrounded by a gaggle of admirers. He was holding court, telling a story with exaggerated gestures and a booming laugh. I approached cautiously, letting him finish before I spoke. Mr. Sterling, I said, my voice cutting through the noise. I'm looking for Lila Monroe. He turned slowly, his smile vanishing. And why would you be looking for Miss Monroe? Her husband is concerned, I said, keeping my voice even. Sterling's eyes narrowed. Vincent is a foolish man. Lila is a woman of independent spirit. Independent spirit or not, she's missing. Sterling let out a short, humorless laugh. Perhaps she simply needed some space. I wasn't buying it. Something felt wrong. This wasn't the reaction of a man who simply missed his wife. This was the reaction of a man hiding something. I understand you and Miss Monroe were close, I said, testing the waters. Sterling's smile returned, but it was colder this time. Lila is a delightful woman. We share an appreciation for the finer things in life. Such as... He ignored my question, signaled to a bodyguard, and started to rise from his seat. I think our conversation is over, Mr. Rourke. She was involved in something, wasn't she? I pressed, not backing down. Something dangerous. He froze, his hand halfway to his pocket. His eyes flickered with something I couldn't quite decipher, fear, anger, maybe even regret. Suddenly the commotion erupted near the entrance. A police cruiser had pulled up outside, its lights flashing. Riley, a contact I'd worked with before, stepped out, his face grim. Rourke, he said, his voice low. We got a warrant. I followed Riley out of the club. Sterling's bodyguards formed a wall blocking my path. What's this about? I asked. Illegal artifact smuggling, Riley said. Sterling's been shipping them out of the country. We got a tip. The rain was coming down harder now, washing the grime from the streets. Inside the club, I could see Sterling watching me, his expression a mask of barely controlled fury. Where's Leah? I asked Riley. He shrugged. No idea. She's not on the premises. I knew this wasn't over. Sterling had something to do with Lila's disappearance, and I was going to find out what it was. As I stepped out into the rain, a single cigarette butt, lipstick stained and crushed, rolled towards my feet. It was Lila's brand. I picked it up, carefully placing it in an evidence bag. A few hours later, at Sterling's estate on the outskirts of the city, I found what I was looking for. Elena Vance, Sterling's wife, was waiting for me in the library, a woman of sharp angles and glacial beauty. Mr. Rourke, she said, her voice dripping with disdain. What a surprise. Lila Monroe, I said, cutting to the chase. A foolish woman, she said, dismissing her with a wave of her hand. She knows too much, doesn't she? She didn't deny it. Arthur has made certain arrangements. Lila was becoming a liability. Where is she? That is none of your concern. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the shadows. Sterling materialized, his face contorted with rage. You shouldn't have come here, Rourke. Where's Lila? He laughed, a harsh, joyless sound. She's exactly where she needs to be. He made a signal, and 2 of his men stepped forward, blocking my path. Just as I lunged past them, a hidden panel slid open, revealing a secret passage. Elena Vance stepped aside, allowing me to enter. The passage led to a small underground chamber, and there, tied to a chair, was Lila Monroe. "Hello, Mr. Rourke," she said, her voice strained. "You took your time." "You should have stayed put," I said, quickly untying her. "It's a little late for that," she said, glancing at Sterling, who was standing in the doorway, his face a thundercloud. "You're playing a dangerous game, Sterling," I said. "The game is already over, Rourke," he said, his voice dripping with menace. "And I always win." He smiled, but I saw the fear in his eyes, because I knew that this wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. The artifacts were still up there, and Lila was a marked woman, and I wasn't going anywhere.